of things to note before we start. The thread is actually fed through this gap at the back here. You can't bring it through from the front because this is an enclosed space. And you will also need to raise the foot to thread your first piece of cord through. So it goes from the top down through this little V gap, which really is as simple as feeding it through the hole, pulling it out the back part of the foot and letting it run through this open hole at the back. We can now pick a stitch that we're going to use to sew over the top of our braiding. So I'm going to pick this one, and that is actually a stretch stitch in blue in the centre there. So I shall just adjust the sewing machine accordingly, and then we can start sewing. When sewing sequins, make sure that they're fed into the machine so that the scales overlap facing you rather than facing the foot, or else they'll get stuck every time you pass a new sequin. Secondly, you want to have a nice straight stitch and a nice long stitch. You need to pull them away from you and then cut through so that you can see how you've sewn them in place. Now this is actually set to sew right down the edge rather than down the centre. And this is what a zigzag looks like. Again, remember to pull from the front to the back, which gives us a zigzag stitch and a stitch down the side. Now if you are overlapping your sequins, then this side stitch effect would be very, very useful. If however you just want to have a nice gleam of shine in a one-off location, then the zigzag done with an invisible thread rather than this nice solid one so you can see where I'm working would be perfect.